round of day number 1. Let's find out who our lone undefeated player will be. I'm going to pass it on over to Alien Corey in the booth.
Let's find out indeed. Thank you so much, Maria. Corey, who is going to be our undefeated player going into day 2?
Definitely got to put a huge advantage to Jeskai control here, as it seems very good against a Boros dragon strategy here, but dragons, that's a great argument. Anything could happen.
Sweet list from both of these players, Takumi Matsuura from Team Moriyama Japan, and the Italians, Marco Belacca. We're going to see some non-green magic for a hot minute, which is super cool, and some would say unusual to see these two decks undefeated, but, you know, they came poised to defeat the big bad in the room, which is just an itty-bitty little cub, and they're doing an excellent job thus far in the rounds.
Yeah, once again, two decks that very much seem like they are great against cubs, and now we're playing against kind of the other categories against each other, and adds an interesting wrinkle to this tournament.
It might come down to who bought the best anti-cub deck and also, you know, has a win condition.
Exactly. Yep. So Takumi's deck definitely trying to just play extremely powerful creatures on rate. So, you know, in turn, we have a lot of rares, mythic kind of things. So just playing extremely powerful cards and hoping they can't get answered easily.
Spider Manifestation to accelerate here a little bit for Takumi. Let's see what he follows this up with. He does have a land in hand. He's got a couple, actually, and also has the Cavern of Souls to protect his dragons when the time arises. But for now, where are we going? Are we trying to resolve Legend of Roku? Legend of Roku.
Yep, Legend of Roku, get to untap that. That is a huge No More Lies for sure. And Cavern of Souls is definitely going to be the most important land here. Yeah. Getting these dragons to resolve and forcing Marco to have removal for them instead of just No More Lies, that's going to be a big deal.
Well, we do know he's packing plenty of removal in his 60 cards. He's got Day of Judgment and Ultima ×2, along with 4 Get Lost, Lightning Helix, Jeskai Revelations. Like, if you need something removed, Marco's your man.
Exactly. Marco playing 4 Jeskai's Revelation as well. That is very telling, saying, I don't really need any other win cons, as that card will do everything for you.
I think the Jeskai decks really like that card.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. The fact that you don't have to play like Shiko, a dragon that you got to tap out with. The fact that you can have a win con that you can cast at instant speed is a big deal.
It's sweet. You know, it does all the things you need it to do in a control deck. Even creates the pressure on board that you need in the form of the Prowess Monks, and then, you know, just the one creature in the deck being the Onagi of Kyoshi Island to close out the game. Very
powerful card. A little anticipate here for consult the star charts, just trying to find lands. That's really all these control decks ever want to do. Just make your land drops, do a lot of draw going type of thing.
2 stock-ups, a No More Lies, also a Day of Judgment in hand. So, you know, Marco might be totally fine to let something resolve here if it is counterable and just clean up the board next turn with a Day of Judgment.
Yeah, it's not going to work out that great here. If Marco would have kind of been able to see into the future here, I think Marco would have jammed this stock up, as Takumi has kind of the most difficult thing possible for Marco to deal with, and that is use the land to search up a powerful dragon, play Cavern on dragon, and resolve this card. It's going to be very, very powerful.
Went to go and find the Magmatic Hellkite that's able to blow up a land and bring a land in tapped a basic. So it's a good basics check for the opponents playing these multicolored decks.
And yeah, that is a very real thing. You got to look how many decks are actually playing a lot of basics, and Marco is just playing one plane. So if you ever can cast multiple of this extremely powerful dragon, and it just becomes a 4-mana Stone Rain style dragon, that's huge.
Nice. Sarkhan, Dragon Ascendant hits the board. And now we get to see, as you mentioned, Cavern of Souls on dragon. So we're going to blow up some land.
Yeah, and just great sequencing there from Takumi, just being holding that Cavern until now. Otherwise, maybe you want to No More Lies, you know, the 2-drop here, but with the way that this was kind of disguised, Takumi kind of gets everything.
He sequenced it really nicely, leaving Marco with nothing to do, really, except blowing up everything on his turn. So,
and importantly, those are all Verges. So, like, the fact that you just got Elegant Parlor out of there, the Plains still turns on most of the Verges, but, you know, the middle Verge, the blue-red Verge, is only red mana here.
Yeah, River Bar Verge.
Yeah.
Very important to note as well. It had a stun counter on it, so it doesn't untap. Yep, there we go. So there is land 4 in hand. Do we have double white?
Yeah, looks like it. So daytime, clean up these creatures. But now Marco kind of missed that big turn with having to just do nothing last turn. That is where you really wanted to be mana efficient and cast stock up if you know you weren't going to be able to counter something on your opponent's turn.
Let's see if that comes back to bite Marco as we now resolve a Legend of Roku, exiling the top 3 cards, able to play them until the next turn. Clarion Conqueror revealed off the top, as well as another Magmatic Hellkite. Hey, should we Stone Rain some things?
I think we should. That looks excellent here. Being able to destroy one of those lands and not being able to search up anything is a big deal. And Legend of Roku is just a phenomenal card as well. Most of the time we see it just in the sideboard of a lot of decks, and they come in when you play against a deck like Izzet, where they kill a lot of your creatures, but I love main decking this card. Boros has notoriously struggled with having card advantage.
Yeah, I was
powerful
going to say
stuff, but you never just get to draw enough cards since we lost, like Showdown of the Skulls. It's a similar card.
I was going to say, this is a Boros deck. How does he still have things to do?
Right?
Aren't they supposed to run out of gas at this point?
Yeah, no kidding.
Stock up here for Marco Belacca. Finds a Get Lost. Look like a couple lands, maybe Multiversal Passage if he's playing.
Yeah, I think a Helix as well for the options. So plenty of gas. Now it just comes down to, do you want to maybe destroy Legend of Roku? Even though there's still solid value that's going to be gained next turn, but you don't get the mana value. And of course, eventually, you have to kill that card as the backside of Legend of Roku is just a must-kill threat.
Oh, yeah. Avatar Roku behind that powerful Saga. Able to make some dragons and also Firebending 4 because, you know, why not?
Yeah, help make some more dragons.
Yeah. So Marco has plenty of questions to answer here. Unless he Lightning Helix on Momo, just getting rid of that discount, gaining some life, padding that life total, which also might be very important.
Yeah, very relevant. This Boros deck hits really hard, so most of the time it's, you know, it's not this chip shot damage of 3 here, 2 here. You get hit really hard from this Boros deck.
Grand. Bopping in for 1.
Yeah, not exactly grand.
St. Your Grand's Boros deck. Chapter 2, get a color of mana.
So 6 mana available. Looks like we have Sirach, which essentially costs 1, getting the treasure. Then Nova Hellkite as well. Haste is going to be a big deal in this matchup.
Yes.
Being able to get in some damage before Day of Judgment can clean up these creatures.
Is he playing Nova Hellkite? Must be, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
4 of them.
Yep.
That's usually a good way to clean up the control players.
Exactly.
Here comes Sarkin, Dragon Ascendant once again. Enters, beholds a dragon, makes a treasure token, now has 5 mana to work with.
But wanting to save that one for later.
Nice.
So you don't lose out on both of the creatures from Legend of Roku.
Search and fail to find.
Yeah, 4 search there.
Free shuffle.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Pretty minor when the deck is already randomized, but hey, that's what the card says.
Yeah, it sure does. Another land drawn off the top there. No more lies in hand. Spell Snare, stock up, Ultima available to Marco.
Yeah, and I think this feels like a situation where if I'm in Marco's seat, I very much want to be like, all right, I want to use my life total as a resource here. Take a huge hit for 7 from the 2 creatures in play, and then when the Legend of Roku flips into Avatar Roku, then Ultima and clean up everything. Because if you just Ultima here, how are you dealing with Avatar Roku with Spell Snare, No More Lies, stock up? So feels like a solid stock up turn to me, but of course, it's easy to say when we have perfect information on both players' hands.
Absolutely.
And we're not under the bright lights of trying to be the only undefeated player here at the Pro Tour in Richmond.
I must say, they're super chilled, both of these players. You know, not fussed. This is just another game of Magic. A couple nice cards drawn off the top there for Marco. I saw a Quarry Mountain Monastery.
Rest in Peace, Get Lost,
Yeah.
and something else in the middle there. Rest in Peace, probably going to be the fastest side out possible against this Boros mid-range style of deck.
I think I saw a Mistrise Village in there, but yeah,
Okay.
we're going to take the Quarry Mountain Monastery and the Get Lost.
Yep, that seems solid. Now having the ability to counter at least one thing.
Avatar Roku. Flippity flops. Back on the board. 4/4 can't attack though, because it was exiled and then returned.
Now, kind of the perfect play for Takumi here is to be able to warp a Nova Hellkite. That way, it's going to go into the warp zone instead of just get taken care of by Ultima, and then you have another hasty threat for next turn. So
Nice. That's a big ol' smack. It's going to get taken out, though. Get Lost takes care of the Nova Hellkite. Recognizing exactly what you said, Corey, that not something that he can deal with when it comes to playing sorcery speed removal.
yeah, and that just has to be the biggest, red flag here from Takumi. Is just thinking, well, you just killed my creature that's going to go away. Why not kill one that's already on the battlefield and is going to stay? And
What
that
could
could
it
only
mean?
mean one of two things, actually: Day of Judgment or Ultima. But that's about it.
Both bad news here for the creatures player. Takumi Matsuura rocking Boros Dragons here. Brought the deck to prey on the Cubs. But doing a pretty good job up against other archetypes here this weekend.
Yeah, especially as, Takumi hasn't played against a Cub deck yet? That is quite wild, I believe they were saying at the desk.
He did play Ken, and he's playing Airbending.
Sure.
Unless Ken doesn't have any Cubs in his band deck.
Yeah, okay, maybe not just Simic Cub style thing.
Or a strictly rhythm deck.
Yeah. So now it's just the... Yeah, play Ultima, not even leaving up No More Lies here. Just recognizing I would rather play Esteem Vents Tap to protect my life total, as the odds that No More Lies gets to actually counter something next turn seems very low.
Yeah, it's dwindling a bit. Oh, Burst Lightning. We could see Burst Lightning to the face.
Yeah, and that's just okay. Nova Hellkite is exactly what we want, but yeah, just another land for Takumi. That is quite brutal. But yeah, we might just see it fired off now.
Unlikely, but you know.
Yeah.
Whenever a control player is tapped out, you're just like, ooh, I want to hit you now.
Yeah, and Marco, that's exactly what he wanted to see. Just your aggressive opponent just passing the turn without, progressing onto the battlefield. So this is exactly where you want to be at from a Jeskai control perspective.
I know this Clarion Conqueror is not going to hang around for a long time, but that treasure should be used to cast it, because you can't do anything with it while he's on the board.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. But yeah, Braid probably going to clean that one up pretty quickly here.
Yeah. See? Not long for this world.
But now the treasure's online.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yes, there's upside.
It's going to be very relevant.
It could, oh, no, it's used. All right. All good then.
Oh, I bet that went away with Ultima and they just...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That is artifacts as well.
And
that's a big old finisher right there. Jeskai Revelation.
Quite a good magic card.
Yeah,
here.
no kidding. Got to cast that one right away, otherwise it goes away. And yeah, you kind of want the stuff it brings along, to say the least.
Yep. No spell, but can bounce a land, which is pretty neat. 4 damage to face, makes 2 little buddies.
16.
And draw 2 cards, gain 4 life. So
yeah, and
here is where Marco takes over.
Definitely.
Draw 2 cards.
This is, it kind of felt over the turn that Takumi passed without progressing to the battlefield. But, if that Hellkite didn't get lost, this game would have looked a lot closer for sure.
Yeah, ultimately, may have still ended up in the same result here.
Yeah.
With Marco pretty much in control here. Control.
Yeah,
As he wants to be.
This is really how this matchup feels like it's going to play out. And kind of looking at the sideboard, I know getting ahead of us a little bit, but there is not a lot of things that come in that are anti-control cards.
No, it's Takumi's main game plan is just get to the board as quick as you can and kill them. Because as soon as they get to turn 4, all your stuff is dying.
Yeah, and a lot of the deck bites that we've been hearing throughout the weekend, one kind of common factor that we've been hearing a lot is like, okay, all these anti-Cub decks, what don't you want to play against is the question we asked them. And a lot of them were saying control, you know, so.
Not all that many control players here this weekend, but they're going to be pretty happy with
Could be a great choice for sure.
How the metagame shaped out. Plenty lands in hand, not what Takumi wants to see, so now it's just a matter of time and probably like a 3-turn clock if Marco gets some extra nonsense going here. Oh, like that.
Yeah, if this was a testing match, I think we would have scooped it up right now. But hey, you're undefeated playing at the final round of the Pro Tour.
Definitely want to go into day 2 with the best record possible. These players are poised to do just that. Takumi Matsuura with 11-5 at PT Etherdrift. Oh, no, excuse me, that was Marco, 11-5 at PT Etherdrift. So looking to better his record here and on track to do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did love Takumi's response. You know, and he got any how to qualify for the Pro Tour advice. And he said, enjoy.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. He's
Honestly,
doing
that is a very underrated thing. Like, the amount of times when I've had solid results, I have very much had a blast. I've loved the deck I played.
Was it Breach by any chance?
that was one of the examples for sure. Yeah. Very much enjoyed that one.
You did love your other Breach.
But that is an underrated aspect of professional Magic. You get so lost in this is a competitive, high-stress environment that we forget that, hey, we are still playing the game that all of us love.
Yeah. And it is a game.
Yep.
You know, so please do enjoy. Dragon, named on Cavern of Souls. Clarion Conqueror joins Sarkhan. Lightning Helix says, no thank you.
Yeah, and I think Twin Maw Stormbrood, what gets cast most of the time for the removal spell, the Charring Bites.
Yeah.
That, I think, is very telling about what... how many cards for control Takumi has in the sideboard. That doesn't seem like a card to me that you want to leave in. But I mean, looking at the sideboard, we see like right away, it's just 4 Rest in Peace, 4 Doorkeeper Thrall, and they do not have text
they didn't
against
do anything
Marco.
here.
So
it's very clean sideboard, though.
It is very clean.
Very simple.
Just doesn't contain a lot of things that are going to help you out against a control deck.
So this could be a pretty short matchup here. We could see Marco being our undefeated 8-0 player going into day 2. But let's see if Takumi has anything here in the tank to fight against it. Clarion Conqueror eats dirt, and Marco's up to 26.
Yep, has a huge buffer for a card like Nova Hellkite. That you get into these kind of tricky spots against these red decks that are hyper aggressive. Once you get down to 9 or so, that's when it's just scary, right? A couple Nova Hellkite hits with a Burst Lightning or something, and you're in a lot of trouble. But when you're at 26, you can just be like, yeah, sure, I'll take Nova Hellkite a couple times and then kill it when it's convenient.
'Tis but a scratch.
Exactly.
Spider Manifestation and Sarkhan gonna do their bestest here, but 2 little 2-powered creatures up against untapped mana from the Jessica control player is a big problem indeed. Now we see the Twin Maw Stormbrood hit the board.
And I like Takumi here just being like, yep, I have to jam. If you have the perfect consult the star charts into Day of Judgment, whatever.
Yeah, what can I do about it? Nothing.
Gotta play to win instead of playing not to lose. And there is consult into Day, and you would just think Nova Hellkite is not going to be enough to push through.
Oh my goodness, another Helix too. Does he have double white?
Let's
that's
see.
fountain in the back there.
No, I don't.
Is it? No, that's just.
But the land in hand.
Oh yeah,
the verge
he's
there.
good.
Yep.
All groovy. There's Ultima. Gets rid of all that and the treasures. We won't forget them this time.
Yep. And saw the Day of Judgment as well. So I was like, no, I actually don't need this removal spell that looks phenomenal against Boros Dragons. And you see the heavy sigh there from Takumi.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you, bud.
What am I supposed to do here?
Well, it's tapped out. I guess warp it in, see what happens.
Yep. Marco very calmly is
Yeah,
17.
sure, fine.
No big deal.
It's the last life, point of life that matters. Day of Judgment, get lost. Stuck up, get lost. A braid.
And no matter what, we're going to see both of these
Just
players
correlation, too.
bright and early in the morning, as they will both for sure be at table 1,
Hell yeah.
or pod 1, I should say, for the draft in the morning.
Yeah. Curious
We
to
already
what's-
know both of these players 3-0'd their pod to start.
Yeah, absolutely,
So.
yeah. I'm curious what they drafted.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of our lovely interviewers can ask them that question. Find out more about their day 1 as we move to day 2. Get Lost takes care of the Nova Hellkite. The turn passes back to Kumi. Still sitting at a healthy 20, but yeah.
Hey, I mean, the best possible draw off the top was Nova Hellkite. If you can just keep getting those over and over, that's the best chance here, as you can get that 4 damage in, and then it's not vulnerable to sorcery speed removal. I think even if it's 2 Nova Hellkites on top, it's still going to be a tough game, but I do think that is the best chance here.
And Takumi will play to his outs here. His expression doesn't
It kind of says it all here.
relay
that's for
confidence, I will say. Mistrise Village for Marco. Cool as a cucumber, passing the turn back. Look at that hand. Good grief. Hey, Momo! What's up, buddy?
Momo's got to do some friendly helping here, some friendly lifting.
Oh, my. I love this deck. I think it's so sweet. I don't think it has any chance against Jeskai control or maybe even Azorius control.
Yeah, control I just think would be pretty brutal, but anything aggressive, any Cub deck, something like that, it just seems like it is excellent.
I want to see this deck against that. So
Yeah.
we'll likely see both of these players tomorrow quite a bit as they work their way towards the top 8. Momo Friendly Flyer hits the board, and we are now going to explore, courtesy of the map tokens left here by Get Lost.
Yep, just trying to be like, all I need to do is I need to hit a non-land on top to have any chance here.
What?
Well, hey, you got rid of those
Hey.
lands at least.
Sure. Holy moly.
And now passing with 7 mana available.
What could that mean, Corey?
You know, I think it means this Momo's dead in response to this. Hey, Legend of Roku is excellent. And I do not see a counterspell ready to go here. So, I mean, one thing,
Bin as well.
Marco might be really tempted here to just Tidebinder the first ability of Legend of Roku. That's definitely the most important part of it, is the card advantage. So,
how does that work with Tashana's Tidebinder? Do the steps still progress?
yeah, the steps would still progress, but it just
Nothing
counters
happens,
the
though.
exile. Yeah, so you still get the mana the next turn. You would still get the flip side, as it is an enchantment right now. Yeah, and Marco's just like, it just truly doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, the Jeskai Revelation, just being able to bounce it,
Yeah.
looks pretty solid as well.
Actually getting to use the first line of text on that.
Yep.
Whereas last game was just like, I'll just do this because why not?
Yep, and wasn't able to play that other land to redeploy it here. Marco fans out 8 cards, and you're like, yep, this is a control player's dream right now.
He's living the dream here, friends. About to go 8-0, I would feel. The Pro Tour, so excellent start here for the Jeskai control player.
Yep, the best players at these kind of moments, it's you know, some players kind of speed up. This is the time when you slow down and just be like, all right, what possible ways could I lose here, and try to close those doors.
But as soon as the control player starts attacking, you know your time is almost.
That is a very good sign that you're in trouble.
And then they start hitting themselves in the face too.
Yeah, throw away a couple damage points here and there, no problem. And then discard to hand size. All 3 of those things are
those are all bad signs.
Exactly.
What are the symptoms of my impending loss? Those.
All right.
Day of Judgment chucked in the bin too. Nice.
Now Legend of Roku is probably going to be met by the Tidebinder.
Yeah. So it counters that. Shana's Tidebinder, only continually affecting an artifact, creature, or planeswalker.
Yep.
Yes.
So if you countered the firebending from Avatar Roku on the
Yeah.
backside, that would shut that aspect down.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, counters the ability, get lost, you can have some maps, and you know, of course, this matchup has looked pretty brutal for Takumi,
Look at
but
his
Takumi
face.
has also drawn so many lands
He
towards
has.
the end of both
Jeez,
game
yeah.
one and game two, so.
I mean, Marco even tried to help him out with a map token,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. See,
Consult
Takumi
the
is
star
having,
charts.
still having some fun.
I mean, you just
snickering
have
a
to
little bit.
chuckle. I mean, like, there's nothing you can do at this
Yeah.
point as Takumi. He's just like, yep, sure, I have a land in hand. Come at me, bro.
Yep, we've all been there where you play some maybe not so close matchups. And,
Yeah.
you know, for most of us, it just doesn't happen on a 7-0 stage here at
No.
the biggest stage in professional Magic like these two players are playing.
But hey, awesome results nonetheless.
Yeah.
Takumi will end the day at 7-1. Marco 8-0, our lone undefeated leader.
Yeah,
Going into day 2 of Pro Tour Lorwyn Eclipsed. Pretty darn good indeed. Congratulations, Marco. A 2-0 with Jeskai control. One of the very much lesser played archetypes here this weekend,
Yeah.
and looking poised to have an excellent run tomorrow too if he keeps playing like this.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked incredible there, and with the amount of deck bites and players that were saying, yeah, our deck just kind of can't beat a turn 1 rest in peace or a turn 2 rest in peace, like
Yeah.
Andrew Ellenbogen was saying with their Spell Elementals deck. You know, just a plethora of different decks are really afraid of control, so
Yep.
might have a nice metagame call here. For sure.
Indeed. We've got more Magic for you, friends. We'll take a short break, but we won't be too long as we wrap up day 1 of competition. It's our favorite way to spend a Friday. It is Pro Tour Lorwyn Eclipsed, coming to you from Richmond, Virginia. I'm Ailey Loney alongside Corey Baumeister, and we have the pleasure of bringing you the last round of action here today at our Pro Tour. Trying to find those players who are going to fill out the top draft table tomorrow, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be a very interesting one. We got Toni Portolan up against Arch Dota, the Teamer Harmonizer deck, which we saw
So
do
sweet.
some really cool things up against Azorius Control. Maybe Control is truly having an incredible weekend. And I did talk to Arch here before this tournament. Arch just said, yeah, my deck is busted. So maybe they know something that maybe the rest of the field who didn't submit a
Okay.
control deck know.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what they can do here. Both players well, excuse me, just Arch with 7 cards. Toni on a mulligan to 6. But this Mind Form Harmonizer combo is pretty sweet. We did see Ray Zhang pop off up against David Root, I think it was, in one of the previous rounds.
Yep.
And, you know, basically get this guy out, couple landfall triggers, full bore, dead.
Yeah, absolutely. And just being able to have Harmonizer, full bore it, and then have one of the fetch lands, the air quotes fetch lands, Fabled Passage, that just puts you up to a 7-power creature. You double it and you double it. So 28 damage with just those very, you know, few amount of cards.
Yep. Now, Arch, obviously playing Azorius Control.
Yep.
So is going to be able to stop whatever Toni is doing here. How do you protect this combo? Like, do you just have to wait for the right moment, hope Arch taps out? Because I don't see that happening.
Yeah, this is very much a non-tap-out deck. You know, this Azorius Control that Arch and some of their teammates brought, it is very much counter spells, a full set of get lost for interaction, which is going to be great against Toni. So also 4 Day of Judgments, which aren't going to be as good. Same with Seam Rips as far as removal spells. But yeah, Tony's just got to pick his spot against Arch for sure.
White.
The one advantage to this, I suppose, you know, combo deck as opposed to the Boros Dragons deck that we just saw lose to Jeskai Control, is everything happens in one fell swoop. Either you live or you die.
Exactly. So yeah, the big difference between the last match is, you know, we had the optionality to be able to tap out for stock up, thinking, what's the worst that could happen to me? Take 4 or whatever, you know? The worst thing that can happen to Arch if they tap out, well, the game can end. Yeah. And anyone not aware of, Toni Portolan took 2nd in the Player of the Year race, and it was close.
It was like, so close.
Going into the later stages of the World Championship, we had to put Toni as the favorite to be taking it down.
Yeah, no, he was. And then we didn't see Ken for most of coverage.
Yeah.
He just snuck up from behind and then, whoops, into the top 8, takes the lead. Easy clap.
Exactly.
Toni just getting his mana base lined up here. Arch on the other side of things.
Yeah, and that's the problem with saying go.
Same.
When your opponent has 4 mana. That's usually the time when you're like, well, I need to try to play something they need to counter, because the alternative most of the time is they get to do some consulting of the star charts.
Yes.
So that is always brutal, and where you kind of really want to...
Honestly, playing against a control deck, I hate seeing consult the star charts more than I hate seeing because you know they're just going to find whatever they could possibly need.
Exactly. Yep. It's always a frustrating scenario.
Plenty of removal in hand there. He caught a quick glimpse of Arch's hand. A couple of counter spells too, no doubt. Escape Tunnel, just another way to go and fetch a basic. You see some of the mono green landfall decks playing that too.
Yeah. Yeah, here it's just pretty much for fixing.
Yeah. I mean, sure, if you can make something unblockable, cool.
Yeah.
It is pretty cheeky to do that before you start your combo and, you know, multiplying by
exactly.
a billion.
And that can happen. You know, you can target one of your Earthbent lands and then start cranking it up with the Harmonizer to make an unblockable threat.
It's in response to the sacrifice. Okay. It's mine. I said pass. It's end of his turn.
Yeah, so it's my turn. Okay.
This is relevant.
Look for the land. Does it resolve?
Yeah.
So to trigger?
Yeah.
So draw 2.
Yeah.
And it gets 4 count.
So it's going to be a 5/5 here.
Nice. Yeah, Wan Shi-Tong likes it when your opponent goes to search for things. So playing it in response to it being sacrificed.
Then you discard.
And that was in response just so you get that extra boost from your opponent searching the library. A text that, you know, doesn't come up that often, but
not too much.
Still very much relevant.
I bet Wan Shi-Tong loves playing against Formidable Speaker.
Yeah. So now we did, exactly. I'm saying we just tapped out against the deck that can kill you out of nowhere.
A 6/6.
Yes.
Arch might be dead.
So, yeah, I mean, this, we full bore it.
Full bore, it becomes, what, 7 power?
And gains
land.
trample. And Fabled Passage. This is 28 damage.
So it's
14,
That is a 6/6.
plus...
This is -2 Arch is about to go to.
28.
Yeah.
You'll get another.
Just for
Ah, sorry.
Wow. And, I mean,
Wowza.
Arch just had to have not had a get lost.
you
Maybe
keep 7
didn't
first, and then
realize
you
how
play back.
explosive
Yeah,
this deck
And
can
then
be.
14,
And then 28.
14 plus 28.
I saw counter
And has
spell. I
trample?
saw a
Yeah.
seam
Baggage
rip.
trample?
It
Yeah.
does have
Because you
trample
walk bets.
because it's
And I
warped.
trigger this when you search.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
okay, so
still
that's
6,
one
12.
less.
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna help, is it?
Yeah, no, that's just
7,
-1, but it's cool at least.
It is cool.
I'm dead.
Yep, I'm dead. Arch sure is dead here. So Toni Portolan finds the opening. Arch was tapped out and just took advantage right there and then. That was sweet.
Wow. I mean, you have to just kind of assume that Arch's hand didn't have something like
Yeah.
a get lost as well as those no more lies. Otherwise, you would think you want to play a little more conservatively there.
Do you think maybe Arch should have made Wan Shitong a little smaller?
You know, to maybe find get lost,
Yeah.
sure, and then you're not drawing as much. But, I mean, in hindsight, definitely,
Sure, yeah.
as you died immediately on the crackback. But, yeah, tough deck to play against when your deck can kind of just kill you out of nowhere.
I do love seeing what Team Sanctum of All comes up with.
It's always spicy.
It's so fun.
It's always spicy, and it's always awesome.
On top.
Escape Tunnel fetches a mountain. Restless Anchorage. Such a sweet printing of it.
Yeah,
So
looks
pretty.
great. The Citadel land is excellent in this deck. A card that is always extremely powerful with Fountain Port, which is a 3 of in Arch's deck.
I'll find the blue and then I'll pass.
Analyze the pollen, going to find all of the colors that Toni could possibly need for the shenanigans that are going to ensue.
Sure.
Stock it up. Let's
have a
find
demonstrator.
some removal spells.
Yeah, I like this to start. I see Get Lost in the back. That feels like what you immediately want to take. But that being said, I believe that is
There's
a
a
Get
Get Lost
Lost
in
in hand. That might be 2 in hand already.
Yeah, it does look like it.
Yeah, they might be very much prioritizing, like, all right, I saw what happened now. I need to make sure I can avoid that at all costs. And Get Lost does seem like the best card for that.
Yeah.
That was
Get
another
lost, no
Get
more
Lost.
lies. Yeah. You can never have too many.
Exactly.
You know, let Toni just.
Stock up.
Sorry.
Sorry. You're good, you're good.
Yep, just a classic. Nope, I wasn't shuffling. I just put those on the bottom.
I don't want those cards.
I don't want them shuffled back in.
Fair Arch.
I like the beautiful landscape sleeves that they both have.
Yeah. Very pretty indeed. It's always nice to see the players bring their own personalities to their decks.
Yeah, there you go. Or it's just so cold outside, they're like, all right, we need to be remembered of
What?
some warmer weather.
Represent.
Yes. So now let's see. And as much as this looks like an aggressive deck from Toni, as you know, you do win with a card like Full Bore, you're still playing 4 stock up, 4 consult the star charts. So it is really card advantage, card advantage, card advantage. You know, try to combo off Harmonizer plus Full Bore, and in this particular matchup, back it up with counter spells.
Yeah.
Spell Pierce, Spell Snare, Spider Sense, stuff like that. So this is very much
I think I need to discard.
Okay.
a control or a combo deck here.
Toni with a full hand. It's going to chuck a magic spell.
18. Sure.
Yeah, Thunder Magic
Thunder.
there.
You go.
A 1 of. Probably not the absolute best against Azorius
No.
control.
Spider Sense has been pretty good
Yeah.
the times we've seen it.
Yeah,
Just being able to counter abilities. Passing Say now for Toni.
Ascension.
Nice. Earthbender Ascension.
With 1 blue available, so definitely at least representing a Spell Snare. That kind of looks as face up as possible. We're going to find out. Okay.
No more lies says no thank you.
Unstuck. Demolition Hero.
Exiled, right?
That's exiled, right?
Yes.
Search.
Thank you, Arch.
And this was, yeah, okay, I was going to say shortcutting, but the Sunken Citadel and the field alone can do this ability. And now as far as a basic check goes, we kind of did that in the last match with the Hellkite that was going to destroy lands. This one, Toni plays a lot of basics.
Yeah, Toni's fine. And then Arch is 5.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Both players not...
Not too affected by those style of
Yeah.
lands.
Also on the way to get a landfall trigger. Fountain Port hits the board for Arch. They're happy to pass the turn back to Toni. Another passing save.
Wow.
So you earthbending target that.
That is definitely what I would think is a bit of a sign of weakness here.
Yeah.
As, you know, like saying go and having consult the star chart, something like that would be a little bit more impactful. But, you know, I mean, if Arch, if they just have a bunch of counter spells in hand and you start just creating a gigantic creature that could do some stuff, but...
Okay. Wan Shi Tong back again.
Draw one.
Yeah.
Has 3 counters.
This is on the end step, so
My turn.
Arch is not at risk of dying at this point.
And that gets around to absolutely every 1-mana blue counter spell that you could have. You could, you know, Web Sling Spider Sense to counter that ability, but Spell Snare as well as Spell Pierce not going to do anything there. And we've seen a lot
Spell
more.
Snare work on it? It's a 2-mana spell.
No, because you are playing X as well, so you increase.
Oh, okay.
You increase the mana value there.
Gotcha.
Good.
We've seen a lot more Wan Shi Tong librarians than I thought we would in this tournament. You know, with either in Dimir control, Azorius control.
card.
Yeah, it is a strong one.
6.
I really wanted to make a commander deck out of it, but I'm like, what do I do with this? Stock up on the stack. Does Arch allow it? I think the answer is no.
Yeah, that would make sense. For Arch to be, so they can be mana efficient.
It's counter.
Yeah.
And at some point, Toni is just going to just go card advantage, and then eventually assemble the combo with some counter spells to back it up. So I really like Arch representing a threat to just make it so Toni doesn't have all the time in the world.
12.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to have some pressure along with your permission.
Yeah.
So Arch doing a good job of taking Toni down to 12. And also now anytime Toni goes and searches, that L's going to get a lot bigger.
Yeah, and Toni's deck does do a fair amount of searching with all the fetch land style, with Escape Tunnel, Fabled Passage.
Hey, buddy. I still Explorer.
This is when you play lands from graveyard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you may play an additional.
And
you have
mills
already
every
played
time a
one.
land enters.
Resolve.
So getting some value going there.
Arch is just like, yes, go search your library.
Yeah, exactly. You can bring back that Fabled Passage if you
Yeah.
want. No big deal.
Yeah, I'd like a counter on a card, thanks.
Now, one thing Arch can do, they can get lost the Explorer with the mill trigger on the stack. So there's no way you can kind of just be like, all right, put 2 lands into play without Arch being able to interact.
We're at 18.
Well, having the blue aspect to this combo deck certainly gives the Temur Harmonizer list a lot more play in the game.
Yeah, it does seem kind of like some of the remnants of the Temur Otter deck that we saw, you know, at the World Championship. That deck kind of fell off pretty quick.
Yeah.
But, you know, the original Temur Otter deck, can you guess which team created that one?
Was it Sanctum of All?
It sure was. Yeah, they've created a lot of spice.
Was it Ray J?
Almost assuredly,
It
yeah.
sure was. Get lost. Goodbye. Little
And
Ice Till
then
Explorer.
I'll pay 1
Couple
life to
map
make a fish.
tokens.
Looks like that was trigger on the stack for a
And then I
mill. Maybe not.
Oh, so the land was played from the graveyard, though?
Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe I just missed the mill underneath the ice till.
Maybe, yeah. Oof, down to 6 now.
Yeah, and
This little fish is going to get feisty, too.
Yeah, this is exactly where Arch wants to be. Just have a gigantic creature represent the clock. And as far as removal goes for Wan Shi Tong, you know, we kind of discarded the one card that you can to deal with it, that Thunder Magic.
Thunder Magic, yeah.
Basically immediately.
No bounce spells. Seer.
Yeah.
It's 3 in the main deck, but
Probably sided out would be my guess, but you never know. And now Arch's hand They just are stocked up. There's a
Yeah, they've
couple
still got
consult to start.
they've still got two get lost.
Yeah.
So basically anything that hits the board is going to die,
Yep.
at least from Tony's side of things.
But, you know, this is the type of deck you can just never count out. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, in the last match, we saw, you know, Boros, we could safely assume there was
Yeah.
no coming back because you're trying to win with chunks of 4 and stuff. But
Yeah.
with this deck, when you can just win out of nowhere,
Yeah,
have the Harmonizer, have 2 spell snares for 2 get lost,
yeah.
and a full bore, well, it's probably over.
The Boros deck is fair magic. This one definitely goes over the
warping.
top. It wants to do some unfair things.
All right, Harmonizer on the stack.
Does it survive?
A card that I never feel safe when it comes into play. It's such a terrifying card.
Can you imagine if he had like a fling effect or something as well?
Yeah,
If
yeah, no
Arch is just
kidding.
like, yeah, sure, you can do all that. It becomes enormous, go to kill it, and then boom,
Yeah,
chuck it
yeah,
at your face.
no
That would be
kidding.
funny.
1 red or 1 blue being tapped. I would assume we're attempting to go full bore. But if that was the case and there's only 1 blue available,
Float mana.
I would think it'd be a little difficult. Okay, all right. Second blue would make it possible at least.
So you
Trigger
target
on the
itself.
stack.
Yeah.
And then full bore.
So hold on, you target itself.
Yeah.
And it gets, oh, in response to the trigger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cast that in response to the trigger.
So that will full bore, it'll be bigger, and then it'll double to be a larger creature.
Yeah, so in response to the trigger,
So it becomes 14 power.
and yep, just didn't even have 1 spell to protect from it. But Tony's like, you know what?
Tony went for it.
I gotta try.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta make him have it, and Arch had it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
We get a game 3.
so maybe a
Let's go.
little bit of maybe Arch respecting exactly what can happen after seeing it firsthand. It is open deckless,
one?
so
Yeah.
Arch
I
saw
don't-
what could happen with this deck. But I mean, you can look at this collection of cards, but until you see it happen to you, that you take 28 damage on turn 4, it's maybe not the easiest
Another
thing to
time.
prepare for.
Absolutely not. We're speeding up here a little bit to make sure we get through all the action that we want to show you here today, friends. As Tony deploys a Verge to the board, both players just land go as it stands.
Yep, and this isn't, most of the time Tony being on the play, you want to start to really pressure control as fast as possible. That's just not kind of how this deck operates, but this has to be one of the best cards against control.
Yeah.
Sirach, Elusive Hunter.
Can't be countered, and when it's targeted to eventually die, inevitably die, it gets you
Yeah.
a card. So,
Yeah, get you a free card there as well as the maps.
yeah, replaces himself. Arch stocking up. Gonna find a couple more answers to whatever Tony's got in hand there.
That's going to be shields down, though, and Tony can play that Earthbender Ascension.
Yeah, that's pretty
Or
big.
stock up, but Earthbender Ascension seems excellent here to get that going.
Yeah.
Get
Get that little land going.
yeah, attack for 2, and it's pretty easy to get to 4 counters
Yeah.
with this in this deck when you have a bunch of these fetch land effects, like Escape Tunnel and Fabled Passage.
All right, so Arch now shields down. Tony has the opportunity to do some nonsense. Was Ice Explorer drawn there, perhaps?
Yeah, Ice Till would probably be the best card to play, as it does you a little bit of ramping, but Earthbender Ascension here, definitely a strong case for that.
Yeah, just because it gets your creature and,
Yup.
an inevitable threat.
Yep. I like this, though. Play it while you can, while there's not a counter spell. Get a little
Mills a
extra
card, go
value.
get a land, yeah. Another mill once that resolves. Oh, don't forget your mill.
Yeah, it looks like we're just shuffling up and do 1 more mill.
Yep, there we go. Ugh, 2 consult the star charts in the bin.
Yeah, and a lot of goods in hand there from Arch, it looks like. So at least get 1 get lost. And some blue cards in the back, so always a plethora of option. But when you're playing Azorius Control, that's the name of the game.
Yeah. Ice Till Explorer did its job and got dead. So now 4 map tokens on Tony's side of things. 2 mana left open for Arch. Can't be feeling too safe to do any comboing right now.
Yep. And let's see.
Earthbender Ascension, full bore. Looks like a Consult maybe in hand there too.
Yeah, unless that card in the way back is a Harmonizer.
That's
we're
Fabled
still,
Passage.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, the Engen Katara one.
So not looking to be winning the game this turn, but even just Earthbender Ascension having Spell Snare as a backup, start using these maps to crank up this land's power.
Yeah.
Even that looks pretty solid.
Yeah, like we saw Arch do in game 2. You know, just get some pressure on the board and eventually your opponent's life total runs out.
Yeah, but playing the land first would lead me to believe... I mean, here you just want to play around No More Lies, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Negate attempts to counter that. Spell Snare says no thanks, so Earthbender Ascension will resolve.
Yeah, and Spell Snare, a card that really, really helps out this Temur Harmonizer deck. Being able to push your way through a plethora of 2-drops, and most of the best interactive cards are 2-drops. They're, you know, counter spells, they're removal spells like Get Lost, so I imagine that is a really nice one here.
Yeah.
For Toni and the rest of the players playing Temur Harmonizer.
So now we play the Get This to 4 counters game to be able to give creatures trample on extra counters.
Yeah, definitely not the main thing that we're trying
No.
to do. Like the, you know, mono green landfall decks or Celestia landfall decks. That is, you know, basically the best card in those decks.
For sure.
This is just a solid role player in this combo deck.
It's another way to get extra lands and to make your land drops count, especially when you don't have the opportunity to go for the combo.
Yep.
Because your Azorius control opponent is saying no.
Yeah, or if you just don't have full bore and you need trample, that kind of stuff
Yeah.
can really come up as well with a Harmonizer.
Cracking some more maps. Let's see what the top of the deck has. More lands. Would you look at that?
So this is the one thing that Arch is very much lacking so far is just the pressure. So you just have to go draw go, and you're not playing Consult the Star charts. You're not playing something aggressive like Wan Shi Tong. That can be trouble, but that being said, I do see a Wan Shi Tong in hand for Arch Dota.
Yeah.
And then a couple No More Lies, as well as a Tidebinder, I believe.
Yes. Tidebinder, No More Lies, and Wan Shi Tong.
Yeah, that's brutal because, you know, we kind of thought about it. Do you want to counter this stock up? And you really can't. There's 2 colorless lands, so you can't even double No More Lies. And a stock up, the first 2 cards we saw, both stock up. So I think it's very fair to say that Toni is stocked up.
Certainly prepared for this endeavor in round 8 of our Pro Tour. Jeez, has he hit a land every single time?
Seems like it. And hey, I mean, that's kind of what you actually do want to do.
Sure,
you know?
fine.
Then you're just you know, not
moly.
drawing those. So I think this is going to be the big test. If Arch goes for this, does Toni have an answer? Or, you know, is Wan Shi Tong going to be able to draw some cards and actually present a reasonable clock here?
Okay. Well, 4/4 Bird Spirit. Now able to get in the way of this land that just hasn't gotten lucky off of these Explore triggers.
And Toni did leave open this 3-mana you know, on purpose, so there's got to be some kind of interaction here. And it has to be about the best draw there for Arch.
What'd they find?
Stock up.
Oh, stock up, cool.
Otherwise, it was just the No More Lies and a Get Lost, I believe, before this turn. So, solid draw. But now this feels like the turn. This feels like the next turn for Toni, as just 2 mana is not that difficult to play around because, well, you can only have either 1 2-drop or, you know, a couple of Spell Snares as far as interaction goes. But Spell Snare doesn't actually touch the combo of Toni at all. Doesn't hit full bore, doesn't hit Harmonizer. So this feels like the big turn.
Looks like we might be going for it. 3 mana tapped here from Toni Portolan. Stocking up first and foremost. Just going to try and shore things up here a little bit better.
And that's the big problem here too. This could be bait.
Yeah.
You know, because you can still win the game from Toni's perspective by tapping the 4 lands that are not Earthbent to Warp Harmonizer, full bore, and Fabled Passage, and the game's over.
All right. Arch is quite happy to let that resolve.
There's full bore, a couple of lands.
Nice Fabled Passage. I bet Toni's happy to see.
Yep, so that was 4 lands and full bore, and I think we already had a full bore in hand, so unlikely that that was the stack of 5 cards that ends the game this turn.
No more lies, just waiting to interrupt. Also the Get Lost in hand, ready to kill anything that looks even remotely suspicious.
I still like seeing Arch tap out there. I mean, not tap out, but, you know, like actually tap their mana for stock up, trying to progress the battlefield, because holding that up and just saying, I'm going to hold up my 5 mana for the rest of the game, it's not really going to yield you the win either. Got to still be progressing.
Ain't a winning plan there. So Toni has got options. Where do you think he goes from here?
Yeah, let's see. If you, I mean, of course, if you have it, you go for it. But if we don't, it seems like this deck is just all about more card advantage until you are ready to go. But Toni looks like he is stocked up with cards.
Oh, yeah. Might have to.
Like that looks like 8 or that looks like 8 or 9 cards, it would seem.
Yeah, he might need to go to discard again.
Yep.
No more lies. Tidebinder. Oh, Harmonizer would be a good target for the Tidebinder.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So plenty of ways to disrupt the combo here from Toni. He's having a big think before he plays this land.
Yeah, huge moment for these two players. Really deciding who's going to be at pod 1 here.
Yeah.
For this draft. X and 1, they're almost always at pod 1. A couple X and 2s sometimes sneak in, depending on the size of the Pro Tour.
Big pause here from both players. In the tank is Toni. If you're just joining us, thank you so much for doing so. We have plenty of action throughout the day. It's for you to go back and enjoy once this broadcast is over, and still 2 more days of competition to come.
Yeah, and if this is just 3 mana stock up, you know, we'll see how fast this No More Lies goes on the stack. Like, any target right now, if I'm Arch, I'm like, yes.
Oh, okay. Going for it.
I mean, Get Lost and No More Lies, they're pretty much the same as far as interaction, and Arch has 2 No More Lies, so I would assume you just try.
Toni tried.
Yeah.
Failed. Is just left with a 2/2 on board up against this 4/4 bird.
But notice how Toni, you know, held the land. It felt like that, you know, Toni wanted that to happen.
Okay.
Otherwise, you just play the land on tap, and then, you know, the No More Lies isn't as effective. I guess, no, okay, the flip side is if you, if the Harmonizer does resolve, you want the Fabled Passage to actually combo, so. Yeah, makes sense.
In case Arch has nothing to do, then let's try and kill them as quick as possible. Another Might Form Harmonizer revealed off the top of the library there, courtesy of the map token.
Yeah, this is really nice. The Demolition Field right now can make it so you are not going to draw that Harmonizer.
Yeah, that's true. This is a forced shuffle, right?
Yep, absolutely. And with how fast Toni, you know, put that back on top, you got to think that could be important.
Demolition.
Oh, it is a May search.
Oh, it is a May?
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. So he doesn't want to go find the land then, maybe?
Yeah, looks like it.
We're just going to leave Might Form Harmonizer on top.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple different iterations of those lands. Some force you to search. I believe Field of Ruin, I think, was a force.
Yeah, and also not searching keeps One Shitong at a manageable 4.
Yeah, that is a really great point.
Got any Sears left in there, Toni?
Yeah, Wan Shitong really would love if that land forced you to search. So now Arch having 2 spells essentially available, and there might have been a spell snare as well, and that feels like enough interaction from this Harmonizer, probably. And that is spell snare in the back, so.
No more lies.
Snaps it off.
What does Toni have in response? You paying for it? Yep. Cool.
And now, if there's a spell snare plus full bore and fetch land, that would have been enough, but.
Double No More Lies.
That'll do it. And now that's 2 Harmonizers gone.
How many are in the deck? I assume so 4.
Yeah, I would assume all 4. Yep, there is 4 of them. And, you know, this deck does not have the best plan B. as far as chip damage. You know, I mean, you can attack with Ice Till Explorer, get those landfall triggers to really crank up one of your lands, and then Bossing Say is probably your best plan B.
I like the attack there. You know, it's like, do you want to trade?
Yeah, please. Please trade.
Yeah, come on. Your bird for my land? No problem.
Then we might see Full Bore in its other mode as a actual combat trick.
So
Yeah, what an interesting card.
Because there's 2 in hand now, right?
I for sure saw one. I'm not 100% about the other, but that would make sense
that's,
to me.
6 extra damage there. Bossing Sake and also Earthbend on that.
Oh, Arch Dota really trying to close this game out. That is putting Toni down to 6, so that's a 2-turn clock. Now it's all up to Toni to have it next turn. This kind of chip shot Bossing Say, you know.
Like, he might have enough power here, honestly.
With
Earthbender, with Trample, and the 2 full bores, I think he's got 2 in hand.
Yeah, maybe.
6, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ah. Okay, he'd be shot.
Yeah, it would feel tough. It would feel tough, but...
If the bird didn't block, and there was, double landfall triggers.
So remember, the one thing about Ice Till Explorer is every time you Fabled Passage, sure, you're going up 2 as far as power goes with Earthbender Ascension, but you're actually kind of only going up 1 because Wang Shitong will get a little larger each time.
True.
So basically, you want to just bring back Steam Vents.
Just
any
and
land. Verge. Just any land that doesn't actually search, as it's the same amount of technical power, except your opponent doesn't get to draw extra cards.
Yeah. Tashana's Tidebinder. Arch flashed out there just to, well, it didn't actually play it. We just saw it revealed there in their hand. Oh man, this is tense.
This is tense. So Fable. So looks like we do have Spell Snare and Get Lost. So 2 pieces of interaction from Arch Dota. But Spell Snare has just really felt like there's not been a lot of great targets.
No, not in this matchup. That's for a Cub.
Yeah.
There's not that many here.
I mean, there's still definitely some. Spider Sense, those kind of things, but Consult the Star Charts probably being the biggest one.
So we get 2 land drops with Ice Till Explorer.
Yep.
So it could just be another land from the yard. We don't have to actually crack anything.
Yep, that looks like the Steam Vent. So this is putting the island to 6 power.
Go to 4. Sorry, I didn't mill.
Yeah. So you play that from graveyard?
Yes.
Yeah.
You shock from graveyard.
Play
So
from
you
the
go
yard
to
to 4.
4. This
Goes up to
4,
6.
Okay. 6.
Mill 1.
I mean, Arch has to block, right? At this point, if there are the 2 full bore in hand,
So
I think I saw 2.
I mean, that would be only 12.
Yeah.
Well,
So you would need 3 full bores.
3 full bores? Okay. Maybe we don't have that many full bores.
Yeah, you need 3 full bores as well as you know, some interaction here.
Yeah.
But I like this from Arch. Do this pre-block
Yes.
to know, like, all right, do I have to block or not?
Nope, that's going to be it. Ah, rats. That would have been so cool for Toni, but an excellent win there for Arch Dota, rocking Azorius control and doing excellently, finishing the day at 7-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arch didn't really tap out besides that one turn in
Just
game
that one
1.
turn, yeah.
And after that, they're just like,
Hashtag
okay,
never again.
I'm not doing that again.
Oh, yeah, but that was a sweet matchup between 2 decks that didn't come here to fight each other. We'll put it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked to Arch, you know, right after the draft. They were 2-1. And I was like, well, how do you like control? That's usually not something that's the most common thing to play at a Pro Tour. And Arch was just like, well, I don't feel that confident with it. I don't want draws, those kind of things. But I think my deck is busted, was the quote. And turns out, after a nice 5-0 at the Pro Tour, Arch Dota might be right.
Well, let's see what Arch can do with that results going into tomorrow. But to wrap it up for today, friends, we're going to say adios for now. The desk is going to do just that.